What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, the podcast where we talk about movies and comics and everything in between. My name is Darren, also known as DJ Shadow, and I am joined with my two siblings, Derek.
Yo, what's up?
And my sister, Diane. So, this week we're going to talk about Once Upon a Deadpool and what we think about that. This is the first time that Diane has seen the Deadpool movie, so she gets to give us her views of it. And, of course, we're going to let you know what's up with the PG-13 version of Deadpool. But before we get into that, as always, we do the news. So first thing I want to talk about is Aquaman. Now, last week we did a review of Aquaman, and it came out this weekend, and it looks like in the U.S. it made about $67.4 million over the weekend. Number one for the weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, but they were up against
what they predicted, right?
Is it where I don't know what the projections were. I'm not sure if it's worse than what it was projected to do or not.
We also got to think it was up against Mary Poppins, and I forgot another movie that came out, so they didn't have much competition.
Yeah, I don't see people rushing to see Mary Poppins.
That's true. Actually, I heard right. Mary Poppins was horrible. I'm not.
I don't see how you can make a sequel to Mary Poppins.
Yeah, I gotta look.
What
at
happens
the
at the end of the first Mary Poppins? Does she die at the end? Do the Nazis come and get them or something?
No, isn't she?
I've never seen the movie.
I've never seen it.
Me neither.
You sure we haven't seen this as kids?
I'm sure.
I think it was on. I don't think I ever watched it fully.
No, it's a musical. I don't do musicals, so I've never seen it.
Okay. All right. I don't remember it. I remember that song she sung with that long word, something.
Oh,
Aladosis. We've got to be the only millennials alive that haven't seen Mary Poppins. What's the deal with that?
No one wants to see that trash. That's what's the
We didn't like musicals as kids.
What are you talking about? You liked every Disney movie that came out, which is all musicals.
That's different.
Is it different? Is it though?
It's different.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with D on this. It's different.
Okay.
And then Mary Poppins came out in the 50s or something. Ain't nobody trying to watch that.
True.
Okay. All right. Fine. Whatever's. But in the meantime, so Aquaman, $67 million. That seems kind of low to me. It's got good reviews. As far as the audiences go, the critic score is staying about the same as we mentioned last time. It's about 6 out of 10, which is kind of what we agreed upon when we gave our review of the movie. I had a couple of friends go see it too, and they also said it was kind of like an average movie, which I guess is good for DC. It's not bad, right?
See, I feel like that is my problem with this movie. Because it's not bad, that means DC is not going to fix what's wrong with their movies.
Does this mean that they're on the right track? They're turning around?
No, because they have yet to put out a good movie.
Wonder Woman.
They put out 3/4 of a good movie.
Right. So overall, Wonder Woman was good-ish. And I'm gonna
no, not good-ish. It was 3/4 of a good movie. It was all good except for the end. That's all.
No.
In a minute, everybody's going to be like, 3D Rivals are so pro Marvel.
I think everybody is pro Marvel. I mean, let's be real. let's be real. Everybody out there is pro Marvel, and only a few people are pro DC. And what I mean by that is they're realistic in saying that the Marvel movies are currently better than the DC movies. And I'm not saying that I want them to be. Look, if you come out with a killer Blue Beetle movie and it's great and it's just like Ant-Man, I'll be super happy. I want to see good superhero movies no matter what company's coming out with them. So, I mean, that's the deal. But currently, let's be realistic, Marvel's better. So, let's not even lie.
I mean, it's the truth, though. I mean, No lie, realistically, all jokes aside, I mean, it's been better acted out, better script written. It has been just better overall in every category. And I mean, even when we went over our list with the top 20 out of the 20, which we had at the top and at the bottom, Marvel has put out some okay movies in, I'm not even going to say bad. I'm going to say they have put out some just okay movies. So it's not like they hitting it out the park every time they drop a movie.
No, they're not.
But Marvel's worst movie, yeah, later they have. But I feel like Marvel's worst movie is still better than DC's movies.
True.
No, we've already ranked Aquaman better than Incredible Hulk and Thor: The Dark World.
Fine.
Oh yeah, we did.
It's better than 2 of Marvel's movies.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Keep it real.
They need better.
Yeah. I feel like the issue here is there's no real plan with DC, and you can kind of see it. It's all over the place because they wanted, well, the first issue that they had was they wanted to hurry up and get to where Marvel was. And like no one knew Marvel was going to be what it was until the Avengers came out. That's when everybody was like, oh my God, they're doing some real big things. By that time, you can't get to their level because they were already, 5 movies in? You know, so...
Yeah. Starting with Man of Steel. No, it's 5.
No, we're talking about Marvel. So starting with Iron Man.
oh, my bad.
Yeah, so they were like 5 or 6 movies in, and then DC starting, and they're trying to hurry up and get to the same point. And it's like, they just needed to start slow. You know, just like...
Yeah, and I think it's like, I saw this thing about when Iron Man first came out, and it's like Marvel had a plan. And they were hoping that Iron Man worked because they thought, like, this can lead to something bigger. But they didn't start making the Avengers without doing the other movies first. And I felt like DC was like, oh, we're going to do a Justice League, and they were just going to throw everything together, and, like, they're going about it in the wrong way.
Yeah, because my thing is, how you do a Justice League movie with half of the characters you really didn't introduce into your universe
in that movie.
Yeah, you introduced them in the movie.
In quotations, introduced in the other
Justice League.
And Batman versus Superman with the email opening.
Yeah,
that was if that wasn't the most shoehorned in thing. And you know what? Marvel started to do some of the same things. Like, that's my biggest problem with Avengers Age of Ultron, because they were trying to do so much world building in that movie, and some of the, like, the dream sequences and stuff felt a little shoehorned in. It wasn't as blatant as Batman versus Superman, but that's an issue. And Marvel learned their lesson from that because they lost Joss Whedon in that movie because it was too much studio interference. And they lost another original director of Ant-Man, they lost too. And you can see how they started to turn around and give the directors more freedom and just have, like, a baseline. We need the story to be here at this point, and this character can and can't do this. And then otherwise, do what you do. And you can see that with the movies that they came out with. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. Thor Ragnarok especially, because that was a big change for Thor in that movie. Black Panther, you can see how they all have their director's visions, especially with the Russo brothers and their 4 movies. So it's like, you need a direction. You need a plan.
Yeah.
DC doesn't have that. They're just like throwing stuff out.
Well, it's like, oh, Marvel did all of this and all of this. Let's jump on the wave. And it's just like, they trying to start from the very top. It's like Marvel didn't come out with Iron Man and then was like, oh, let's drop the Avengers. Like you said, Darren. It's like, no. It wouldn't have worked. Because then you got Iron Man, then you would have came out with the Avengers. And now you got to spend the Avengers introducing these other characters. Hulk, Thor, Captain America.
Yeah, and they introduced them in the movie, but they were able to keep it brief because everybody knew him already. And you got to think, if we didn't have the other movies, and even though we know the comics, as a moviegoer, I still feel like it has the same effect. If I went to Iron Man and then watched Avengers, I'm going, okay, so who's this Black Widow person? Who's Hawkeye? Who's Thor? I know who these characters are, but they're just popping up now in the movie, you know? And that's kind of how it was in Justice League. It's like, okay, yeah, I know who the Flash is. I know who Aquaman is. I know who Cyborg is. But I'm watching this movie and it's just, oh, here's Cyborg. Here's some exposition about who he is. Oh, here's Flash. Here's some exposition about who he is. And then you got characters misrepresented all over the place. Superman is stoic and, I don't know, grieving or whatever. And then in Batman versus Superman, he's straight up killing people. And then in Justice League, he's comic relief, which, I mean, I'm sorry, Batman's never comic relief. That's not, right. It doesn't work. It's not his character. And it's just, it's all over the place.
Yeah. At least it hasn't been his character since Adam West.
Yeah, like, if you know what, if you're doing an Adam West, then that's fine. I will accept that.
Right.
You know?
I mean, even then, the Adam West Batman was campy, but he wasn't going around telling jokes.
Right.
I'm like, there's a difference.
And I'm sorry, one of Batman's closely guarded things is his secret identity.
Oh, and he gave it to everybody.
Yeah. And
he goes around the world telling people he's Bruce Wayne. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
And
even though in the comic books, every love interest he tells that he's Batman.
Well, okay, that's with true. Every superhero. But, and here's the thing, and you can go, oh, well, Marvel, they don't have secret identities, but it's about the character. Like, Batman's character, he has to keep his secret identity. And it's just like with Spider-Man. Now, everybody else in the Marvel Universe, everybody knows who Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, everybody knows who they are, right? Well, at least it's not hard to find out who they are. Spider-Man does not give up his secret identity to everyone. You got his friend, and I guess Aunt May found out at the end of the movie. But other than that, he keeps it because that is important for his character. You can't have a Spider-Man where everybody knows who Spider-Man is.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, and it's so weird.
Go ahead. I was going to say, into Infinity War, the only person knew who Spider-Man was Iron Man. Yeah. Even Iron Man kept his identity secret.
Yeah, true. None of the other people know who he is.
Yeah. Yep.
So, like, it's weird because Warner Brothers actually owns DC Comics, so they just don't have the rights to the movies. They own the company. So you would think, like with Marvel, when Marvel started putting out their own movies, they're like, hey, we're going to stick to our characters as true as possible. You would think they would come out with movies that would stick true to their characters. Like, I mean... Yeah, I
wonder, because I'm like, I saw this thing, and Marvel was saying how, like, when they're doing a movie, that they get all of the comics associated with the movie. So let's say if it's, you know, the Infinity Gauntlet. And they do that, and they study that and say, how can we incorporate this into a movie? Even to as far as they take scenes from the actual comic or lines from the actual comic and put it in a movie. And it made me wonder, like, is DC doing the same thing? Because it definitely doesn't seem like they are.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably like a situation, you got too many cooks. Too many people with their hands on one thing. You gotta remember, so with Marvel, we do have one head. You've got Kevin Feige, who is covering everything and keeping everything straight. And, you know, he's setting out the plan. Even, you know, when you give it to a director, there's still a plan ahead. And you know, they've planned far into the future so that they can line all these movies up. I think Warner Brothers needs to create a separate studio, DC Studios, put a head and let him control it so there can be one vision rather than a bunch of people's vision and it try to mesh them together, you know?
Yeah.
To me, that would seem like it would be a good idea, but
well, anything they do would be better than what they're doing now.
That's the truth.
We'll have to see what the reviews of Shazam say, but I don't know. I don't know what's
I'm on
coming
the fence
out
with that one too.
I don't know. I haven't heard if they have anything lined up after Shazam.
I don't.
Oh, well, Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman
right?
is 2020.
Yeah.
That should be good. I think that director's really good. Why not give it to her? You know, Wonder Woman was your best movie, right? Why not use that to kick things off? So forget the rest of the stuff that you've put out. We know it's bad. Forget Batman and Superman. I know they're the top DC characters, but it's been proven that moviegoers don't really care as long as it's a good movie.
Right.
So
True.
Use Wonder Woman to kick it off. That movie was good. Let that director start your vision.
I don't know about that one.
Is she really bad? And Diane, keep in mind that she did not direct the end of that movie. She did.
Okay.
Zack Snyder did.
I know. I can tell.
Yeah, you can tell there's a big difference.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever they do, it just needs to be different.
Yeah. Well, I guess we could go on forever about DC and how we want them to have good movies. But moving on, the Arkham Knight is now an official comic character for DC Comics. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, Arkham Knight, yeah, you know, the Arkham games. The last one, the villain in that, now he's an official character in the comics. It hasn't been revealed who he is. I believe in the video game it was Jason Todd.
Yes.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what y'all talking about, but okay.
The video game Arkham Knight supposed to be the last series of the Arkham series with the video game. So you had
Arkham Asylum,
Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, or I'm saying it backwards.
Yeah, it was
and
Arkham
then
Asylum,
Arkham
Arkham
Knight.
City, and then Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
And the villain in that game was called the Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it turned out it was Jason Todd.
Which people said was disappointing because that just makes him an overglorified Red Hood.
But Jason Todd is the Red Hood, so how is he Arkham Knight, and why would he be? Granted, I have not played this game, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I didn't play that one either. I played Arkham City.
But I mean, having him in the comic book, though, he will have his own story. It can be whoever they decided to be, because it's not going to be Jason Todd, because Jason Todd is already a character in the comic books.
Yeah, that's the theory, that it's not going to be Jason Todd. So hopefully not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see what the complaint would be. I don't see what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
I think the complaint, if it is Jason Todd.
Yeah, that is the complaint. If it ends up being Jason Todd, then, you know, you really haven't done anything. You just put... It's kind of like in Iron Man 3, and they put a War Machine in the Iron Patriot armor for no apparent reason. So,
yeah, just to introduce the Iron Patriot suit.
Which ruins our Dark Avengers storyline, by the way. But
they are?
No, I'm saying that...
He said it ruins it.
It ruins the Dark Avenger, because Osborn is the Iron Patriot.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you can't have that. At least they couldn't then.
Yeah. They couldn't then, so I think that's why they just ended up using it. It was like, oh, okay. All right, so moving on, the Venom creator, Todd McFarlane, is saying the negative reviews are because the critics are in their 40s.
What?
Really?
So is he saying that no one over the age of 40 likes superhero movies? Is that what he's saying?
He's saying they're criticizing Venom because they don't understand it.
Well, no, but I'm saying it sounds like his overall message is saying that because critics are over the age of 40, they don't like his movie, which means that if they don't like Venom, then they wouldn't like all the other superhero movies because they're over 40.
Right. Because, well, or vice versa, the critics like the other superhero movies because they were more than just a superhero movie and also good films. So he's kind of digging himself into a hole here because now he's saying they don't understand because they're old. That means it's only good because it's a superhero movie and not because it's a good film, is what you're saying. And that doesn't bode well.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, he said 15 and 16-year-olds would love the movie, which I'm pretty sure they would. I mean, like I said, I went and I had fun with the movie, but I'm able to recognize that fundamentally is not a good film.
So
he's fishing for straws. He's fishing for straws, guys.
How about he know his movies suck and just do better?
Well, this is the creator of Venom. This is the person that made him in the comics.
Well, isn't he over 40?
Yeah, I think.
He know something about him?
He should be. I don't know how old is Todd McFarlane.
I don't know. Venom came out in what, the 80s?
Probably the 80s or 90s. You know, 90s was Oh yeah, he's 57.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with age.
I'm about to say it still doesn't. I don't care. It still doesn't.
Yeah. He was saying he was happy because he only wanted to see a cool Venom on screen. So here's the issue with that. While, yes, it was cool how they had Venom, the CGI for Venom was great. The interaction between Eddie Brock and Venom was great. But
yeah, it reminded me of the cartoon, though, with their interaction, actually.
Yeah, and even the side characters, great. Yeah. But your story was flat. It made no sense whatsoever. Goodness. And that doesn't live up. When you have movies, Transformers franchise has proved this. When you have movies and you focus only on the cool factor, your audience dies out. Because guess what? I've seen the cool factor of robots transforming already. I don't want to watch this anymore. Give me a good movie and I'll watch it. So Venom's not going to live just on the fact that you have a cool Venom on screen. You need to make a well-written story behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Todd McFarlane, man, I'm going to keep it 100 with you, okay? I'm going to keep it 85 plus 15. You need a good movie. You know, not just, slimy Venom eating people's heads off, okay? All right. So
I'm just going to go on record today and just say that Darren is going in today. He's on fire today.
Well, what am I doing? Hey, I'm just keeping it real, man. I'm just keeping it real because I like Venom, and one of the biggest problem with the movie, I'm like, the story doesn't make sense without Spider-Man, and they got close to doing a good story without having Spider-Man in it, but they didn't execute it well. And now I don't know how you're going to continue Venom without Spider-Man. Like, even explaining some of his powers doesn't make sense without having Spider-Man there. And now it's ruined because you started already. So, although, I can say this because this ain't real news. I feel like Sony should, instead of doing like, oh, we're going to make our Spider-Verse with all these side Spider-Man characters and not have a Spider-Man, I feel like they should make their Spider-Man universe with a different Spider-Man. Use Spider-Gwen or use Miles Morales or use Silk and that character be your Spider-Man for your universe. Then you can have Venom take over them and Venom hate them. It's just not Peter Parker. That would be great. Instead of jumping around all these places. I would be glad to see a Silk-led universe. Fine. That would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I'm with D on this and you, Darren, when it comes to that, because with Marvel, yeah, they follow the comic book to an extent. Like, it's not event for an event, frame by frame of what's going on. It's like you can look at the story and switch it up a little bit, but it's like with Sony, like with the Venom, it's like it's so left field. Mm-hmm. It's just like, we know it's like you can't have Venom without Spider-Man. It's just like you can't. And then try to fix it by adding Spider-Man later, like that makes it even worse.
Yeah. And I just thought of a reason why they can't do a universe led with Spider-Gwen or Miles Morales or Silk.
Because
I'll get to that later.
Okay.
I'll get to that a little later, but I guess there's a reason why they can't do it, which is stupid. We'll talk about it when we talk about the Men in Black trailer.
Okay.
So, talking about Sony, it does sound like this isn't official, but Sony is speaking like they will be keeping Spider-Man in the MCU after Far From Home.
Of course they will.
Because it would be
so they're not going to mess that up.
Yeah. So that's good. So I guess with that being said, I guess they are continuing doing this without a Spider-Man in this universe. It's going to be weird because they're planning a Morbius movie, a Kraven the Hunter movie. That. I mean, I guess you can do Morbius, but Kraven the Hunter, you need Spider-Man. I don't know how you do Kraven the Hunter without Spider-Man.
Well, who's that girl that Kraven the Hunter be going after? Maybe that's all you need.
It's either his wife or his girlfriend.
But he doesn't hunt her, right? He's just...
I don't know. He's like rescuing her or something. I'm trying to remember the cartoon.
I don't know how you do that.
She was a central part to his story.
Yeah, or like doing a Sinister Six. Now, if you do a Sinister Six movie without a hero, I don't understand. Like,
right?
There's no.
They kill me with that too. They kill me with that too. What is their obsession with the Sinister Six movie without a Spider-Man?
First of all, the Sinister Six sucks. Like, stop trying to make movies out of this.
It would be cool if it was Spider-Man, though.
You can make it good. They need a hero. They need to put a hero in this universe, and you can't make it Venom.
Why does Sony even need a universe? Like, why do you need a universe?
Because they want the money. Sony is still Sony.
Don't.
I mean, like, they're going to be Sony. And, I mean, I'm saying, like, they're going to be a movie studio still. So they're trying to make
James
money.
Bond. What else do they need?
I think that went back to MGM.
Oh, did it? Is that why this movie taking so long to come out? It's going to be trash, too.
I don't know. It was like shared MGM and Sony. I don't know if it's still... I thought I read something that stated that it was no longer Sony, but...
Okay.
Yeah, that may not be true.
Yeah, you might be right. I just thought they had them still.
Yeah. Well, and then they got Men in Black.
They do have Men in Black.
That's their saving grace.
And with that, we'll talk about the Men in Black trailer. That dropped this week.
Yes.
So, what do you guys think about it first?
I thought it was okay. Nothing about it makes me want to go see it. Nothing about it makes me hate it. It was a trailer.
I would say based on the trailer, I mean, before the trailer, I was like, I really don't care. But based on the trailer, to me, is interesting, and I'm willing to go see it. Yeah. Honestly, I think what appealed to me is the actors that's in the movie.
Yeah, that's the big draw. Like, honestly, putting Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson in it is a big draw for me because I enjoyed them so much in Thor Ragnarok. I'm like, wow, I think this movie's going to be good. And from the trailer, it looks like it's going to be fun. Like, you know, like Diane said, it's nothing special about the trailer. It doesn't make me want to go see it more or less. But it does look like a fun movie, and because of the actors they got in it, I feel like it's going to be good. So far, I'm on board for this.
I agree.
Well, I think it all depends on how much Liam Neeson is in this movie.
Listen, he's going to be a man in black, and he has a particular set of skills.
Yes.
As long as we see these skills.
I'm going to kill you.
I will find
you. But first, I'm going to find you.
And I will kill you. He will never live that down, ever in life.
He's never, ever going to live that down.
Taken again. Taken for the 6th time.
Right. What was it? Taken 3 or 2, where he was like, he tell his daughter to hide, but then he tells her they're going to find you and they're going to take you. But don't worry, I will find you and I will kill them all. Like,
that was that the second or the third one?
I don't know. Wasn't the third one where he took somebody?
No, the third one was when his wife died, right? Okay. Oh, spoiler for
spoiler. Yeah, if you haven't seen,
hey, hold on. If you haven't seen Taken 2 or 3 by now, you deserve to be spoiled.
I have not seen Taken 2 or Taken 3. I haven't seen any of them. I've only seen the scene with him on the phone. Talk about I have a very particular set of skills.
Taken?
Huh? What'd you say?
I've seen it.
Have you really not seen Taken?
Yeah, I'm serious. I haven't seen them.
Oh my goodness.
You have to see these movies.
Movie night.
All right. I guess I'll put Taken down.
All of them?
You got to.
I mean, it gets progressively worse, but you got to see them all.
Yeah, it does. 2 and 3 runs together for me, so I don't know which one is what.
The first one is good.
Would I leave the movie with a particular set of skills?
Man, I don't believe you haven't seen these movies.
I mean, I haven't seen
he's
everything.
slipping. He's slipping, Diane. He's slipping.
I know, man.
All right. I haven't seen the movies. It's all good. Okay. So, Diane, you perused the YouTube comment section for the Men in Black trailer. Do you want to... First of all, I have to say, the YouTube comic section is the worst place on earth.
Yeah.
Like, it is where the worst of the worst hang out. So, Diane, do you want to talk about what you saw in the YouTube comic section on this movie? Bearing in mind that I believe this is not the view of the world here. It's only like 0.5% of people that feel this way, and they feel the need to voice themselves in the YouTube comic section. So take it away, Diane. What did you find?
There were quite a few, and when I say quite a few, like an awful lot of people with this same mindset who were complaining the fact that Tessa Thompson, is that her name?
Yes.
Was starring in the movie. Saying things like, among other things, it is called Men in Black. There should not be a woman starring in it. And it was just, there were a lot of complaints, and they were blaming feminism and people being politically correct with the fact that why she was in this movie.
Yeah, like people are saying that this latest trend of having movies with minorities or women is like an SJW movement. And I'm like, maybe it's, your lead doesn't have to be a white male. Like, I don't understand. Like, is that the prerequisite for a good movie? Like, oh yes, this stars a white male. This is going to be great. Like, I don't understand. Like, this is not an SJW movement. It's just two actors that work well together, and the studio got them and made a movie.
Yeah, I don't think the studio said, we have to have a woman, let's go find one. I felt like Thor was a good hit. They get along well. There's a chemistry between the two characters. So why not put them in a movie together? That and Men in Black have women agents, so I don't really see what the complaint was.
Yeah.
Although people was like, but they were the star though. Okay.
It's like they've always had women agents. I don't understand. And somebody, I read a comment where somebody was like that the women agents should stay in the office and not go in the field or something like that. And I was like, what is this? The 1920s? I don't understand what is going on here. Like, seriously.
I mean, that's like saying that there can't be women in the X-Men because it's called the X-Men. So, Storm's not important because she's not a man.
Although she's one of the strongest. Actually, your strongest mutants are women. Like, Jean Grey is, like, the strongest mutant there.
Yeah.
Nobody complains about that. Yeah, if anything's going to be a movement, X-Men was all movement. Their whole comic series is movements.
Don't tell them that. They don't know that.
Oh, they didn't get that it was a metaphor for, like, oppressed people. Okay. Oh, boy.
Yeah, so, they don't know.
Yeah, there was a lot of that in the comic section there. About I'm confused. A lot of complaints that
sometimes I question why I read these comments because it's always the same.
Yeah. Like I don't understand. People in the comic section did mention the fact that they're trying to make a Black Widow movie and the Captain Marvel movie is coming out. And they're tired of all these, women movies, apparently. Which I have this to say. If the only movie you want to go see is with a white male star, then only watch movies with white male stars. But, for real, don't express your opinion. Please. Usually,
I'm going to go on record and say that the people that's probably complaining about the movie probably haven't even seen the Men in Black movies.
No, yeah, probably not, because there was, at the end of the very first movie, Agent L was an agent, and she was a woman,
She wasn't the star, though. That was the thing. She wasn't the star.
I guess, yeah. Well, your main bad guy in the second movie was a woman. Isn't that a star?
True.
Hey,
the villain's still a star.
I'm just telling you what they said.
Oh, boy. So this is, I find this kind of ridiculous. A lot of people, on the side note, in those comments, they're saying that the movie's going to be bad because it doesn't have Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones in it.
Oh, my goodness. Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones is like 100 years old.
I was like, actually...
Right. The first movie came out, 20 years ago?
Yeah, it was 95, I think.
Okay, so close to 23 years ago, whatever. It wouldn't even make sense to have those two in it. Like, you have to have a fresh face. Like, it's just, their time is done.
Yeah,
like, I wouldn't want to see.
Yeah, especially if you're rebooting the franchise, you gotta, let's get fresh faces in.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones is like 200 years old. Don't nobody want to see him in nothing.
1997.
Yeah. So
20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, no, they don't need to be in this movie.
Yeah, I feel the opposite. If you put Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones in this, and they were in that trailer, I would have been like, man, this is going to be a bad movie.
Yeah.
Kind of like how I feel about Bad Boys 3 or whatever they're coming out with. It's like, I'm sorry, I don't want to see it.
I don't know. I'm kind of feeling the Bad Boy 3 thing.
Of course you are.
Whatever.
Not at all.
No, because I don't know. That seems dead to me unless you're just Bad Boys 3 with 2 new characters.
And it's not Bad Boys.
Then it's not Bad Boys. But yeah, like, I don't understand that. So everybody's saying it's going to be bad because of that. And someone was like, oh, Men in Black was a comedy. This just looks like they made it into an action movie with rap music behind it. I was like, first of all,
whoa.
If you didn't understand that Fergie is white, I'm sorry. Second, it's the first trailer.
I read a simple comment called all of this hip hop music, and I'm like, that's not really a hip hop song. And then I felt like they chose the song because it was called London Bridges, and they're in London.
Yeah, because they were in London. That's why they chose it. And actually, I thought it fit very well with the trailer. I was like, oh, snap. Which is funny, because that's what they said.
Yeah. And let's just say Will Smith made a song for Men in Black and Men in Black 2.
That doesn't count. That you know his music
rap. Count. But I mean, it was on the rap and pop charts. So you can't say, oh, well, with this rap music.
Right. Like they're turning it into something different.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be funny. And I know that Chris Hemsworth has excellent comedic timing. So I feel like he's going to be funny. Did y'all see that last scene when he picked up the hammer?
Yeah.
I was like, if that's not a shout out to Thor, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I thought the exact same thing there.
Yeah. So I'm like, if there's a lot of stuff like that in it, I think it's going to be a funny movie. And of course, and I think it's different expectations, because I'm not going into this movie thinking that I'm going to get a super high caliber movie, but I think I'm going to get a fun time at the theater. But that's what Men in Black is. That's what they've always been. It's a fun time at the theater, with some decent storytelling. So like, I feel like that's what this is going to be. They didn't show us anything different. So I don't understand where all the hate's coming from, but I think this is going to be a pretty decent movie. Hopefully it does well.
Yeah. I'm hoping, just for those stupid comments, that this does turn out to be an excellent movie.
Yeah, well, time and time has proved that the world doesn't care what sexist, racist, and misogynist people think. So they can voice their opinions online all they want, but the world moves on. So, oh yeah, so that's actually the reason I thought of why Sony can't have a universe led with Spider-Gwen or Miles Morales or Silk. Because either you're going to have an ethnic person be Spider-Man or a woman be Spider-Man, and these people would hate it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh yeah, they really couldn't do Silk because she's Korean. So it's a woman and a minority. Man, they'll be real mad.
They gonna blow up.
So yeah, but that being said, Men in Black should be good. Let's talk about another Will Smith property, or not property, but a movie that he's going to be doing soon, Aladdin. Did you guys see the photos from Aladdin?
I did.
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
I have.
So apparently they cleared things up and said, no, Will Smith's going to be blue and animated and stuff to be the genie. But I'm like, really? Because all your advertisements got, just a regular Will Smith looking real weird in some Middle Eastern clothes.
He will be blue now after all of the complaints. They definitely bought the computer about that for sure. I
feel like that, when they came out with that saying, oh, no, he's going to be blue, that was responding to the negative reaction that people had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And nothing against Will.
I do have to say, like, this is going to be the first one that is not going to be good. I do not have high hopes for this.
I don't either. I don't either. I don't think this Aladdin movie is going to be good. It might be. I mean, I guess we haven't seen a lot. And nothing against Will Smith. I think he's a great actor, and I enjoy a lot of his movies. I just don't see him as Genie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Will Smith's style of humor, to me, doesn't fit Genie.
Yeah, I feel like he's just going to end up being loud and not funny, is what I feel like this is about to track towards.
Yeah, which we could be wrong. Yeah. Hopefully they prove me wrong. I mean, I'll be down for that.
I'm hoping so. Because, I mean, out of all the movies that they have made into live action movies, Aladdin would be one that I want to see, because Aladdin was one of my favorite Disney movies growing up, second to Lion King.
Yeah, Aladdin's on the top. Lion King and Aladdin is best Disney movies.
Yeah, hands down.
Well, let's not forget Pixar movies, man. Inside Out is pretty. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but that came on a long later. Like, I wasn't a kid no more when that came out.
Okay, yeah. True. Toy Story 3. It's a killer, man. Yeah, so we'll have to see. My coworker, she mentioned she did not like the person playing Jasmine.
Who's playing Jasmine?
I forget her name. The girl, she was in Power Rangers, the Power Rangers reboot that is no longer happening. She was the Pink Ranger.
I don't remember. I seen the Power Rangers, but I don't remember nothing about it.
Oh, yeah.
I seen it too. Was it the Yellow Ranger?
No, she was
You
Pink
said
Ranger.
pink.
Pink Ranger. Dude, I can't even right now picture who the Pink Ranger was played by.
Not
I have no idea.
in the new movie, Derek. not the
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's how forgettable the new movie was.
Yeah, I thought that movie was decent. Like, I mean, for what you expect out of a Power Rangers movie. But everybody hating on it.
I'll give you that. I mean, it's a Power Rangers movie. It's not going to be good.
Yeah, like, you didn't expect something, like, groundbreaking, did you? Naomi Scott is her name.
Okay.
Right. That was not helpful. I don't know who Naomi Scott is.
Give me a second. So she was complaining because she said she didn't think Naomi Scott looked like Jasmine. And then it turns out that
the characters are supposed to look exactly like the cartoon. That's not the point.
Okay, my dude, Tony Stark and Robert Downey Jr. look alike. I'm sorry. So,
I mean,
you gotta,
yes.
it's gotta be some semblance, man. And apparently Naomi Scott is British. I was like, oh, y'all couldn't find a Middle Eastern actress?
That's what I was going to say. There's plenty of them. There's plenty of Middle Eastern actors that they could have gotten to play this role.
Yeah. I mean, Wonder
Now
Woman's Israeli.
y'all just destroying the movie now.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, you don't have to. Like, she does look kind of ethnically ambiguous.
No, I feel like you have to. I feel like if a movie takes place in India or wherever it takes place in, and the main characters are Indian, then your actresses and actors should be Indian.
Well, she's half Indian.
Is she?
Yeah.
Okay, she gets a pass then.
Yeah, but we're looking for Arabian.
Okay.
No, it's fine.
I'm just gonna leave this one alone. This is all you guys.
Look, I'm just messing with y'all. It's fine. No, my coworker just said she didn't think she looked like it. When they named her, I thought that was pretty cool because they got someone who was at least ethnically ambiguous to play the role rather than just getting a white person. So, like, that's pretty cool. I think she's fine, in my opinion, but I guess everybody else might not. The guy playing Aladdin is Egyptian, so I'm like, that's fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they did a good job. The only casting choice I think is bad is Will Smith.
Yeah. I mean, I really hope that he does a good job, though. I mean, because I like Will Smith as an actor, so I mean, I'm hoping so. It's kind of hard to follow up Robin Williams, though, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like you can't give that Robin Williams performance for this role.
Yeah,
and that's what we all know Jenny as.
Yeah, that's a tough one to follow behind.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I don't know. Disney, they put out some good things, but I mean, I heard Cinderella wasn't that good, but I guess people liked it. I didn't watch it.
I haven't seen it either.
Yeah.
When did they do Cinderella?
I think that was like the first one they did.
But there's been like 10,000 versions of Cinderella, so it's kind of...
In this recent iteration of them remaking all these movies, I think Cinderella was the first one. It was kind of under the radar. But Beauty and the Beast, Taylor watched it, but I couldn't sit through the whole thing.
I didn't see it. I did think Jungle Book was good, though.
I fell asleep during the Jungle Book, so these movies aren't they're not stacking up for me.
I haven't seen none of them.
It's not worth watching, honestly.
I mean, here's the thing. To me, I'm always going to be like, yeah, this is cool and all, but it's not. This isn't the Lion King I'm used to. It's not the Aladdin I'm used to. I prefer the cartoon version, and I think a lot of people are going to prefer that. But I don't think that these movies are for us, though. They're for my son. So he'll grow up with these CGI animated movies, and these are the stories he'll know. So
no, if you don't show your kid the real cartoon and don't stop messing with this trash they doing right now,
I will. But you got to remember, this is the stuff coming out during his lifetime. So the children now, these are their movies.
And I would never take my kid to go see this nonsense. You want to see Aladdin? Just go pop in the Blu-ray.
Okay, you were just saying like the opposite. So now, because it's taking over the
cartoon. I was not saying no. I would not. If I had to choose between live action Lion King and the real Lion King, it's the real Lion King all the way.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But a commercial comes on the Disney Channel, and my son wants to see the CGI Lion King movie. I'm not going to take him?
I would straight up be like, no, boy, you ain't wasting my $9 on that.
This is why you don't have kids.
Pay some money.
So, we'll see. More information will come out about this movie. We'll see how well it does. So, let's talk Deadpool. So, Once Upon a Deadpool recently came out. And I thought it was interesting and weird that Once Upon a Deadpool has a rotten or a negative rating by critics and audiences alike when it's the same movie they gave a positive rating a few months ago. So I get what they're saying. And a lot of what they're saying is true. So, first I'll say this. If you're listening to this, there are two types of people here in this situation. So you have Once Upon a Deadpool. You're either a person who has seen Deadpool 2 or a person who has not seen Deadpool 2. If you're a person who has not seen Deadpool 2 and you don't want to see a rated R movie, then Once Upon a Deadpool is the movie you should see. If you're a person who has seen Deadpool 2, then why are you going to the theater and spending $9 on a PG-13 version of the movie you've already seen? That doesn't make sense. So I'm going to make that clear first. This is the same exact movie. And if you've already seen it, you should not see Once Upon a Deadpool. There's no reason for you to go see it. Let's talk about the ratings that people are giving this. So,
but my thing is, though, you knew it was the same movie coming in. Like, no one thought that this was going to be a totally different movie.
Yeah, you would think that people knew, but a lot of people have been like acting like they were surprised that this was the same movie. Like they didn't know it was just Deadpool 2. But to me, in the marketing, they clearly stated that it was Deadpool 2 again. Just PG-13.
Yeah, I don't know if people are just that simple, but I thought it was pretty clear this was just the cleaned up version of the same movie. Yeah. So, I don't know. People are dumb.
And to me, that shouldn't affect the rating. I agree. Like, people are saying, oh, this was just a cash grab, which is true. This was. Mm-hmm. It had no reason to be in theaters. It could have just been an extra on the DVD or Blu-ray. That's very true.
True. I go with that.
However, that's not how you rate a movie.
when people rate stuff, even in that movie, they do that all the time. You know, it's like you buying something online and it's like, the box was broken. I took it back. And I'm like, was your item broken or was the box broken?
Right. That has nothing to do with the object. Or they complain about the person who delivered it.
Right. You know, this table has pointy edges. It's a table. I don't.
Did you not see the pointy edges before you bought the table? Or.
So people are quick to 1-star something when it doesn't deserve it.
What gets me?
So yeah.
What gets me is not just the audience. Like, the critics are saying the same thing, and I'm like, but a movie is based off of the contents of the movie. Like, they didn't re-release Star Wars in theaters, and you go, "Oh, this is terrible. I've seen this in 1970." Like, no.
Right.
Yes, it was the same movie.
Because all they did was just bring out the same movie again in theaters.
Yeah, this was just a lot quicker than you normally would see it. And it was TV cut. Which, to me, the cuts weren't bad. I mean, like, you could tell some parts, but I think if you were a person watching this movie for the first time, you wouldn't be able to tell. Actually, Diane, this was the first time watching the movie. Were you able to tell the cuts?
No, I mean, there were scenes where I felt like it was obvious, like, okay, this would have been more graphic or whatever, or he would have said something different. Although I don't think the cuts were bad. I don't think it was choppy in any way or nothing like that. I mean, as a movie overall, it was okay. I think the people are going to hate me. I think the Deadpool movies are very overrated. I've seen the first one. I've seen this one. They're overrated.
Yeah, Deadpool doesn't. I was saying this earlier. I don't think Deadpool's the character that Diane would particularly like. I mean, honestly, same with my wife. It's not something I think she would go for or find funny. Me, on the other hand, with my inner childhood and inner childishness, I find it hilarious. So
I'm with you, Darren. I thought it was hilarious.
I didn't.
It subverts the superhero genre so much.
I mean, I don't think it was a bad movie. It's not hilarious. It's just okay.
But I mean, in your defense, Diane, I mean, that type of movie is not something that you watch or find entertaining. So.
Yeah, well, it was like I was surprised when you said you found some Family Guy episodes funny, and I was like, oh, really? I wouldn't think you would have.
But it's only certain, like, I can't, like, just watch Family Guy. It's like I'm like, oh, that's funny. But overall, I don't like Family Guy.
And see, me, on the other hand, I think it's hilarious. So, Once Upon a Deadpool. From start to finish, basically what it was a TV cut of Deadpool 2. And they put some scenes with Deadpool and, what's the guy's name?
Fred Savage.
Yeah, Fred Savage. Was it Princess Bride? Or...
He was not... Was he in... He was not in The Princess... First of all, have any of y'all ever seen The Princess Bride? I haven't.
Nope.
No.
I haven't.
No.
Yeah. These scenes was from The Princess Bride, but I've never seen the movie, so I can't say.
Okay. So I actually thought that their parts were actually kind of funny. So those were the extra parts. Of course, like I said, this can all be a DVD extra or a Blu-ray extra, which I think from here on out, since they know that this kind of works, do that. Say, hey, parents, we have a, PG-13 version of the movie on the Blu-ray, which I don't know how that would work because your kid would probably just watch the rated R version.
Yeah. And quick note, Fred Savage was in The Princess Bride as a kid.
See?
Oh.
There you go.
That makes more sense now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So, it was that. He had scenes with that, which was, to me, quite funny. The cuts, like Diane said, and I said, they weren't real noticeable. If you've seen the original movie, you know where some things were, and you're like, oh, wait, okay. But other than that, I thought it was well put together. The story stayed intact. Nothing, like, it never felt like something was missing because they put a PG-13 cut on it. It felt fine. Other than that, I mean, it was just Deadpool 2. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fine. And I was thinking, for those who are like, oh, you can't do a PG-13 version of it, I feel like you can. I really don't see that if anything major was lost by it not being rated R.
I don't think you did. You didn't lose anything major. You missed a pretty cool opening sequence, which I don't know why they cut that. So in the original
was
movie,
there more to the people getting back at the...
there was more to that. That had to get cut. There was definitely more to that. But no, his opening sequence was like a James Bond-esque thing with Celine Dion singing.
Yeah. Yep.
That was pretty awesome. I think they should have left that in the movie. That was cut. Other than that, like, no, nothing else really took away from the movie at all. You understood what was happening. It was never like a cut where you're like, oh wait, well, how did they do this? Or, you know, like, you understood what was happening throughout the whole movie. So it's obviously fine as a PG-13 movie. They didn't show a lot of they did show all the after credit scenes. Did you stay for the after credit scenes?
I did.
Yes.
Okay. I've seen them all.
These are the same ones, but since it's your first time seeing them, you didn't think those were funny?
Yeah, they were funny.
Oh, I didn't believe that. Wow.
That didn't sound too convincing.
I had to think about what they were. It was funny.
He killed Ryan Reynolds with the Green Lantern script.
Right. I was like,
yeah.
aha. Although technically, never mind. That's just never mind.
What?
Wait, I was just saying that he can't kill Ryan Reynolds because if he kills Ryan Reynolds, then he never gets the chance to play Deadpool.
That's true. Well, he also killed the old Deadpool from X-Men Origins Wolverine. That movie that doesn't exist.
It doesn't.
Definitely doesn't. I forgot about that movie until that after credit scene. So you had that. There was a cut after credit scene with him going back in time to baby Hitler and attempting to kill him, but he couldn't go through with it because it was a baby.
Did you think that was too much?
They did. That's why it got cut. That got cut from the original movie.
That's a little taking it a little bit too far.
But you can find it on YouTube.
Yeah, you can find anything on YouTube.
So that and I do have to say they had a nice little tribute to Stan Lee at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Yes.
They did.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that was very nice. It was nice to see. And you're like, man, not knowing a person, it's like, man, every time they bring it up that he's dead, it's like, oh wow, that's sad. Like but I guess his work has affected so much of our lives though. So it's like, wow, that guy's gone.
We wouldn't have our podcast without him.
That's true. We wouldn't have anything to talk about. So, I mean, that's a short review of Deadpool. Not a lot, because I guess there's not really a lot to talk about. It's the same movie. I just thought it was interesting that people's reviews were the way they were. But besides that, we're going to move on to a new segment of the podcast that we call What You Doing? So... Diane, what you doing?
Okay, so I actually have two things for this part, and so I'm gonna say them both.
Okay.
First thing I discovered, and I'm a little late to the party on this, but anyways, Marvel on YouTube has these TLDR reviews on their comics. Mm-hmm. So, which, if you don't know, stands for too long didn't read.
I just found that out this past week because it kept coming up, and I'm like, what does TLDR mean? Like, I had no idea, and I'm like, I'm tired of seeing this, so I had to Google it, and yeah, too long don't read.
So usually when a movie's coming out, I Wikipedia so I can know about the characters, the background of the story, or whatever. But Marvel has these little short, like 3-5 minute videos that explains the whole comic. And I was like, oh, now I got a Wikipedia because Wikipedia get a little long-winded sometimes. Mm-hmm. And like, it's kind of cool. And I learned two things. One, comic books are stupid, and I'm glad I don't read them. And two, I can see, like, you know, where the movies grabbed from the comics but didn't keep, you know, everything because that would just be dumb. And I mean, to stay true to comics, I know how Endgame will end.
Hey. I don't want to hear anything. I
don't either.
I skip everything. These little YouTube videos. Our theories on Endgame. No, I don't want to know. I don't care. Nope. I'll probably watch one more trailer if they come out with one, because there's a theory going out that this is going to be the only trailer for the movie, which I wouldn't put it past them. I'll watch one more trailer, and then that's it. I did the same thing with Infinity
War. I see a trailer dropping during the Super Bowl because the movie comes out the next month.
I see that being the same exact trailer we got with an extra scene.
I definitely see that one happening as well.
Oh, those Marvel videos they're kind of cute, they're funny, and they kind of explain and dumb down everything from the comics that you need to know. So I thought it was kind of cool. I was going to say the second thing that I'm doing, I'm watching Travelers on Netflix, which I wasn't watching in order, but I got confused, and I have a thing about watching TV shows in order. So I'm trying to go back to watch every episode in order, but it's not a bad show. It's just I can't watch TV shows in order.
Yeah, I watched season 1 and 2 of Travelers. It was kind of interesting. It's an interesting premise. And spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen it, it's just a show about people from the future who go back in time and take over past people's bodies. And then they're trying to prevent something bad from happening in the future or something like that. So pretty good show.
Yeah, it is. I like it. I just have to get over I don't know. I just want to know how it ends. I don't want to watch all the episodes leading up to it.
Yeah, start from the beginning with that one. You're going to be real confused.
I was confused. I had to go back.
Yeah, and season 3 just dropped, which I was debating whether or not I want to watch it, but I guess I will. Since Diane's watching Travelers, maybe I'll jump back in.
I gotta check it out because I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's on Netflix.
I feel like yeah. Okay. I feel like it's been like a sleeper show on Netflix, but it's you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, it's like it's a sci-fi show in the sense that it's time travel, but it's not like real sci-fi-y. Or you know, I don't know how to describe it.
Well, I'll put that on my to-do list.
It's a drama.
Yeah. I don't even know how to describe it. Because it's not a cop show. I'm trying to think, is there a show that's like it? And I don't think there is.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I can't think of anything that's like it that's out. So, guys, if you're out there and you like these time travel TV shows, check out Travelers. It's pretty interesting. Definitely check that out. So, is that all you're doing, Diane?
Yes, that is all I'm doing.
All right, Derek, what you doing?
All right. Well, I wanted to get back into reading. So I'm actually reading because of the movie that came out. I forgot. I think that I might not be saying the name right, but The Girl in the Spider's Web or something like that. But
okay.
it's in
Yeah, I know
the same. Yeah. So I'm reading the book to the first movie, which is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. So I'm actually reading the book.
Okay.
Yeah. So, real interesting. And it's funny, I haven't seen the movie, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. So I'm like really excited of reading the book. And then I will watch the movie and, do the comparison of, what was left out in the book or whatever. Is the book better than the movie? That type deal.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. I've never seen those movies either.
Yeah,
I've seen
I
The
haven't.
Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. It is hard to get through. I didn't really understand what was going on. Maybe I should read the book.
The book is a little confusing too. Just a little. It's. I would say it's long-winded. Like they really describe like everything in the dialogue. So I was like, great, get back into reading, and I would pick up one of these books. Yeah. And the second thing I'm doing is I am watching the animated series Wolverine and the X-Men. It was only one season. It was only one season long, 26 seasons. But I started watching it again, and I'm on like episode 6 so far. But yeah, I just thought it was a pretty, interesting take of it because, always people who follow X-Men or read the comics, Professor X always disappear, Jean Grey always dies, and so if ones that haven't seen the cartoon, basically that's what happened. And Wolverine, Beast, and Storm is trying to keep the X-Men group together and to continue on with Professor X's dream of humans and mutants coexisting. But I would say out of all the X-Men cartoons that have came out after the original X-Men series of when we grew up, because I know with mom and dad, they had their X-Men with X-Men, Firestar.
X-Men, save the day, save the day. X-Men, yeah. X-Men, coming your way.
Coming your way. But Wolverine and the X-Men, I would say that was a really good cartoon series.
It definitely was. I did.
So that's what I'm doing.
Cool.
What are you watching it on?
DVD. I have the actual DVD.
Wow, people buy DVDs.
Just wondering.
I bought it a long time ago, so I didn't go to the store and bought it anytime recent.
Buy it. It would have been fine if you bought it recently, but yeah, that's cool. All right, so what am I doing? Well, Runaways recently debuted, so me and my wife is going to be watching that.
Okay.
So I know that's not a show you two guys watch, so I might just talk about it on here every once in a while, just to give the audience an update on what's going on there. But that's a Hulu original, and it is a part of the Marvel Universe, so it's canon with the movies and the Netflix shows and the Freeform show, which is Cloak and Dagger.
Cloak and Dagger, yep.
So Runaways, the first season was pretty good. I did enjoy it. It's like, it's not as... Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't campy, but it's an ABC show. It's not an ABC show. It's like a step above an ABC show.
Okay.
But it got pretty deep in some of the stuff they talked about. If you don't know who the Runaways are, which I didn't before, but oddly enough, my wife did buy me a Runaways comic like after we first got married, it was like a few months after we first got married, she got me a Runaways comic, and I didn't know who these people were, and it just so happens now they have a show about them, which is pretty cool.
Kudos to Taylor.
Kudos to Taylor. So the funny thing is there is a mutant in the Runaways. And they, of course, couldn't mention that in the first season. So I wonder if in this season they're just going to be okay with it. Of course, all this would have been written and shot before the merger is complete because it's still not complete. So it's probably going to have no reference to the fact that the girl's a mutant. But I would like to see that. Other than that, I haven't watched it yet, so that's what I plan on doing, and I guess I gotta watch the Taken movies.
Yeah, come to the modern century now.
So that's what I'm going to be doing. I did play through a game though called Detroit Become Human. You guys might have heard of such a game, which most of our viewers I think probably did. That game is awesome. Absolutely awesome. It's about androids, and them becoming sentient and kind of what is the right and wrong thing to do with that. But you play as the androids, and the decisions you make affect the game. And I think it's 100 different endings for the game. So it's...
Wow.
Yeah, it is a pretty awesome game. It reminds me of... Diane, have you ever seen on Amazon the show Humans?
Yeah, it's a lot like Humans. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should finish watching that because I didn't finish that either.
I've seen a little bit of Humans, but the premise reminded me of that. It's these androids that are now they're sentient, and it's do you treat them as objects now, or do you treat them as living beings?
Okay.
So
I too played the game. It is very fun. My ending was very different than Darren's.
Yeah, she your characters can die, and she lost a couple of characters. So I'm just gonna say that. Her decisions got people killed.
Shut up. That was not the point of this. Whatever.
That sounds really, really good, though. I'm going to have to check that out, too, then, guys.
Yeah.
You should have. It was on sale during Black Friday. You should have bought it.
That's when I got it.
Okay.
It was $20 or something.
What? Oh, okay. Do they sell the actual disc? Because now I have a $25 GameStop gift card that I could put to use.
Yeah, they do.
I was it might be on disc. I don't know. I don't buy games on disc.
I don't either, but I was what else do I buy from GameStop?
You gotta buy a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on disc. You should find it.
Okay. All right, because I was trying to figure out what I was going to get with it, with the gift card, because like y'all just said, I don't buy disc anymore. I mean, I just buy it on PlayStation Store and download it.
Yeah. I have to say, with this Detroit Become Human game, there was a detective storyline with one of the androids was a detective. To me, that was the funnest part of the game, and I want that company to make a similar game, just doing the detective work, because that was awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was awesome because you had to find out what was going on, find the clues, and then Connor's a beast. I attached to him.
He was my favorite one. Okay, so at the end, I had a choice. It was so weird because your two characters met, and you were at the same time making decisions for both characters, and it's I didn't want either one of them to die, but I was I don't want Connor to die. So it ended up that I had to kill the other one because I'm I don't want to. It was so weird to do that, when they met, and it was okay, so what does this one say? Well, what does this one say? And that's going to affect the options you have for the other person. And
wow.
Yeah. That game got real good. I want to play through it again. I'm just gonna wait a little bit, and then play through it again, see if I can make some different decisions.
Yeah, me too. Interesting enough, the guy who voices the detective, the human detective, what's his name, Hank? Mm-hmm. Voice of Lex Luthor from the Superman cartoon.
Oh, you know what? That is him. You know what else he's the voice of?
Who?
Mr. Crab on SpongeBob.
Really?
Yep.
See, I never really watched SpongeBob, so I don't know.
I didn't either until actually I haven't watched a lot, but when I got into like my early 20s, I saw a couple of episodes of it, and I'm like, why didn't I watch this as a kid? That show is hilarious. I'm like, that it doesn't make sense. I should have watched this as a kid, but I didn't. So I used to hate it because everybody talked about it, and I'm like, I don't think it's that good of a show. And apparently it was. So, but yeah, he voices Mr. Crab.
I never watched SpongeBob, but I agree. It's like I hated it until I saw an episode, and it was hilarious. And I was like, oh, SpongeBob is funny. Yes. But I was grown then, so it didn't matter.
Right. It was too late. Yeah, so with that, I think that's all that we're doing, and that's all we got for the podcast. So thank you guys very much for listening to this episode. Of course, if you like what you hear and you want to support us, make sure you go to patreon.com/3drivals, and you can support us. You may even listen to the podcast live by getting access to our Discord channel. Other than that, make sure you subscribe or get the RSS feed wherever you're listening so you'll know when we post a new episode. And as always, peace out, guys.